This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219. Stand up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off, as we do all the time, by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Check that out. Hey, man, we got a great story today, okay? I waited to try to get this gentleman on, okay? It's a fantastic story, okay? Let me get Mo on here real quick, see what's up. Going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, bro? What's happening?
Hey, man, this is going to be such a great story because here's the thing. This gentleman, he's a perfect example that if you want something bad enough, you can get it. You can get it. All right. You remember a long time ago, Mo? This guy, it was a commercial. It was a McDonald's commercial a long time ago with Calvin. All right, walking down the block, had a little baseball cap. Everybody said, "Good. We knew you could do it. We knew you could do it." He going to work. We knew you could do it. Okay, and he comes in there. He gets into the at work, turns his hat around, and says, "Welcome to McDonald's, man. I help you." Okay. This gentleman here, man, not only did you know, I call him. I'm gonna call him Calvin right off the bat, but this gentleman, man, he's an owner operator of a McDonald's in Atlanta. And man, look, I'm so proud of him because of the fact that, number one, somebody that looks like us is doing something big like that. And number two, with what he's doing, he also creates a movement, an atmosphere. He's positive, okay? His name is Donte, and I hope I'm saying his last name right, Cleaves. But this gentleman, man, I was on LinkedIn and I really said, man, I gotta hear your story. And what caught me with that, Mo, was that he lives by the motto, nothing beats a failure but a try. We're gonna talk about all of that, man. Okay. Let's bring our guest on, man. Again, he's an owner, operator of McDonald's. Let me put black owner in front of him. He's a black owner, operator of McDonald's in Atlanta, and he's doing some really great things. Everybody say, I was almost getting to do the wrong thing. Everybody say what's up to my guy, Donte.
Hello.
What's up,
How are y'all?
Bro? Man,
I'm here. Listen, I am grateful and honored to be here.
It's our honor, bro. It's our blessing. Okay.
Yeah.
We love to tell the story of people that have gone through it to get to it, okay? And we see people that have made it, but we don't know what they have gone through. We don't know the struggles, the obstacles that they've gone through in order to get through it. It's hard out there to try to stay focused and maintain that focus to get to where you need to go to. So Donte, again, welcome to the show. We appreciate you, man.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Cleaves, you're right. Real simple, Cleaves. Yeah,
I'm trying to put too much. I'm trying to put the French version out there, man.
You're good.
Yeah.
We cool. But yeah, man. Let's go back. Let's take it all the way back. Now, I mentioned this Calvin commercial. I don't know if you know about that commercial with Calvin.
I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
Okay, was that you?
You know, it wasn't me particularly, but I can definitely say it was one of the motivators that caught my attention to seek McDonald's in a different way. You know, as I like to, tell people, I didn't grow up seeing people who look like me or you as it pertains to ownership with McDonald's. I grew up seeing elderly white men. And to be quite fair with you, I only saw them through social media outlets or word of mouth. I never really saw them. I couldn't, put my hands on them, or did I ever have the privilege of sitting down to speak with one to even curate what some of my ideas or my desires would be as it pertains to this world. So this was very foreign to me growing up. But I just was so determined to figure it out in some fashion. It just kind of sparked my interest. And so people like Calvin, characters like him, at least was the closest thing that I can wrap my mind around that said that people who look like me were welcomed in such a magnanimous space.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That well put. That's that just tells. Go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry.
I mean, that commercial went miles and miles, as far as the community and culture was concerned. I mean, I think about watching that commercial, and one of the things I used to say, about McDonald's workers, I used to always say that, a manager started somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That was transferable skills. All that stuff comes from those kind of jobs. Being able to move up in anything from a shift manager to somebody that's a assistant manager and a manager. Those are transferable skills. They could be used other places, and you learn them there, and you learn them hands-on. It wasn't no a college course or nothing like that. You learned it hands-on, how to handle people, how to handle money. There was a lot of stuff that you could transfer into other careers if you needed to. But McDonald's said, we're gonna go one better. We're gonna give you an opportunity to own one. We're going to teach you what you need to do to be successful at owning one. So that's what I dug about the whole program. It was pretty cool.
I agree. I think you're right on with that. So I'm sure. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say real quick a couple of comments here. They say you look so young, man. How old are you? If you don't mind.
I thanks my wife Kiana for coloring this ram of a beard, because I'm telling you, it's some gray in here. I was just telling her today, I'm just right now not ready. It comes in a little splotchy, so she keeps me together. But I'm 45 years old,
okay.
And so I'm sure one of the things that people are always intrigued by is really the I story, right? Like, beyond not seeing people like me, why did I do this? And if you would allow me a couple minutes, I'll give you that story.
Donte, we're celebrating you, brother. Okay, so you a couple of minutes.
Brother Bishop, my now friend Greg, thank you. I want to say, I think that as you may all know in your own professions, we oftentimes do things where no one says thank you. No one takes a moment just to appreciate any parts, any facets of the things that you do for your community. And so I have to tell you that I was enthralled that you approached me about being on this show. Number one, I had seen some of the things you had done. I had heard and seen about you being inducted into the Black Radio Hall of Fame. I know that you've done memorial walks. I had listened to Gina speak about one time just needing the Lord to show up. And so when I watched those things, the way you conducted interviews, how you promoted entrepreneurs, even the lady on, I think, 61st in Cleveland and Maryville. Yeah. And I'm familiar with Gary because, again, I'm from Milwaukee. So, getting on the church bus to go to Logan Park, church right there in Gary, I'm eating White Castles like
come on. Kid.
I totally get it. It's just, my heart was just full that for a moment, someone just took the time to say, we appreciate what you do. And so I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to say, Mo, Greg, thank you. Thank you for having this platform that celebrates people that look like us, doing the very best we can to progress and be as impactful with our communities as possible. So with that,
Okay.
I'll go into, my eye story. As I said before, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on the north side. If you know anything about Milwaukee, that's more of the urban side of the city.
Yeah.
My mother was the head maid at a hotel called the Mark Plaza, which is now the Hilton, and she worked second shift. And so I wanted to across the street from me was this white family, the Schmitz, and one of their sons, Jimmy, was my friend, and he played on the baseball team. I wanted to play on the baseball team. It cost $30 to join the team, and then there was a $15 every 2-week maintenance fee. I didn't have $30, and so I was waiting up for my mom to get home so that I could ask her for the money. I fell asleep, and when I awakened, my mother was in her room, door closed, and I felt as though I heard her crying. I didn't know what was going on, but then I could hear praying. And as I eavesdropped on her, apparently she had just gotten her 2-week paycheck, and it was in the amount of about $224. And she was talking to God, telling him or asking him for a career change because she wanted to take care of her family. And the money that she was getting did not allow her to do that in the way that she felt was befitting for us. And so because I heard this prayer, I kind of crept back to my room. I didn't ask her for the money. And so I started trying to figure out ways of how can I get this $30? Back then, remember I'm 45. So back then, it's what, 1994, 95, $30 is a lot of money,
That's right.
And so I eventually took a job as a paper boy at this Jewish paper route house. And every day after school, I would walk to this house. I put on my orange cadet bag, and I walk my route, and I do all of that. And papers were about this thin. If you know anything about delivering papers, on Sunday, they're huge. You got to have somebody willing to take you. Those papers are huge. There's no way to put them all in there. So in order for me to keep that job, I had to have somebody dedicated to taking me to this route every Sunday. And my mom said, I'll do it. So we get up at 4:00 in the morning. We load our white GL Ford Temple. And we get our papers loaded and we go to the route. Afterwards, Sunday, right before church, we would always go to the McDonald's on Fond du Lac. And I would always get my cheese. I tell this story whenever I can. And I think I'm getting better at telling it without being extra emotional. But I would always get back then and had a cheese Danish and a rectangular box of chocolate chip cookies. And my mom would always get a coffee with 1,000 sugars. And I'm like, why don't you just get a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of coffee? And she still does the same thing. Very strange. Every now and then she would get a breakfast sandwich, but rarely did she get a lot of food. So anyways, I told my mom right then and there, I wanted to become an owner of McDonald's. And my mother has never wavered from, and you can, no matter what I said. I could tell her I want to clean shoes off the roof of the Taj Mahal. She was saying, hey, you can, she was just that type of motivator for me. But to be fair, I said that about other things that I thought were big. So Chuck E. Cheese and just things that I thought were big that for me seemed a little unattainable, unattainable to people who grew up where I grew up, tearing food stamps. You remember the color ones? Tear food stamps out of the pack, and and just public transportation and having to wait your turn for clothes and things of that nature, right? And so I remember looking into the requirements of what it took to become a McDonald's owner, and I remember it saying $1 million, having all this money, unencumbered funds that you're not using. So I went to my economics teacher. I went to the School of the Arts in Milwaukee. And we tried to devise a plan. And eventually it got so tiring that he said, okay, you're just gonna have to be an entrepreneur. You have to find another path because I can't think of what you can do that's going to allow you to amass that type of money for this endeavor. And so with that being said, I just kind of left it in the back of my mind. I started doing things in life, childcare and other things that would propel me toward this goal. I really didn't speak about it a lot because I didn't want you know, when you tell people what you want to do, they root for you if they care for you, but you don't want to let them down. So you try to wait until things start to manifest themselves. And when I was headed to college, I went to Fisk for undergrad in Nashville. A McDonald's commercial came on, and my mother and I were packing for me to leave, but we were not facing each other. I jokingly said, Mom, you know, we went to McDonald's all those times. I got my cheese Danish and my cookies, and you just got this coffee. Were you not hungry? Like, why didn't you get more stuff? And my mother, without looking at me or even thinking that there was a problem, said, Donte, I didn't have the money. I just want to make sure you can get your cheese Danish and your cookies. And I mean, it was that moment. Thank you, guys. It was that moment right there where I was like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. But I know a couple things about me. I know that when I want something, nothing stops me from trying. I know that nothing beats a failure but a try. I know that I have a mother who will pray me to sleep. And I know that I serve a God who cares for me. And those are the things that I knew for sure, right? And so I literally start living my life as if I was an owner operator without any of the money, without any of the wherewithal, without any of the know-how, without any connection.
Wow.
And so as I gradate and I start to just experience Fisk and then Vanderbilt and my lovely wife, Kiana, and her ability to motivate and inspire me and to make me aspirational. I looked back one day, another commercial came on. Here's that Calvin, right?
Right.
I hear this commercial, and all of a sudden, all these desires that I had in my earlier days came back. So it forced me to go back to the requirements. That's the great thing about God. You know, sometimes you lose yourself in life, right? You just lose yourself, and you're living life, and you're sometimes living for other people, my children, my wife, my community, that a piece of me forgot about me and that desire that had been there cooking all those years. And so right when I went back and saw those requirements, I had it. What they required of me, I could check off all those boxes. So with the blessing of my wife and my amazing mother, I just got online, no connection, and I just applied, and they just kept progressing me and progressing me and progressing me. And before you knew it, I was sitting in front of the right people, and the right people were in a room speaking my name, wanting the best things for me. And bam, here I am. So I always tell people, don't tell me what God can't do. Don't tell me because you're Black, you can't make it, because I'm as Black as all day. I got my 1906 Alpha Phi Alpha shirt on that's a little snug. But don't tell me what he what he can't do, you know? So that's how I got here, and I'm happy to be here.
I mean, that's the thing that you know, and we sit back. Normally I'll interject and try to get a word in to bring it a different way, but I didn't want to bring it a different way because we needed to hear that. Right. Because there's a lot of people out there, Donte, that say they want to do something, and they put all kind of detractors, obstacles out there. But I've told people, hey, look, Donte did it, so it can be done. You know what I mean? You don't have to say, I can't do it. It can be done. Donte did it, so it can be done. It's just you have to be intentional and stay focused. And in your case, you just said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. All right. Yep. And that's remarkable. So, you know, I get from listening to you and from reading about you, you're not really in this for the money. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's the bulk of you being correct. Because let me be clear, I am no fool. I have a family who is not like me as it pertains to the things they want. I have children that I need to leave a legacy for. I am very intentional about how I need to care for my family. And remember, I didn't come from a lot of money. So money excites me at times. I want to make sure people understand that I'm about the business of McDonald's at the end of the day. But to what you're saying, I am more so about the impact that it will lead for my family, for my community, for people who look like us. That is more important to me because, I mean, money's going to come. It just is. Yeah.
And that's, you know, and I'm glad you cleared that up too, as far as the way that I said
I feel like Mo was like,
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I meant that, you know, you have a bigger purpose because Mo, I don't know if you read it, but if you read this man is always trying to teach. Okay, he is always trying to inspire. You know, nothing beats a failure but a try. Now, why does that stand out so much for you?
You know, I feel like I was in a store, a Kroger, and I don't know what I was getting, some chicken and whatever. And I got to the end of the aisle. It's an 80-year-old woman bagging up the groceries, and this was before I became an owner operator of McDonald's. I wouldn't have done this because I wouldn't have wanted to be offensive, but I just wanted to know, you know, is this a choice? Like, are you bagging groceries because you just don't have anything to do? You're retired. You want something to do. And I'm thankful she wasn't offended, but she was very clear with me. She says, you know, yeah, my husband was a numbers man. You know, he passed away. I didn't work. I didn't have to work when he was living. And she says, now all I have is this job. Social Security is very small for me because I didn't, you know, work a great deal in my life. And so she says, I have to be here. I have to be employed, or I'm desolate. I'm struggling. And so, you know, I say that to say, in that conversation, she asked me, what are you doing? And I tell her what I'm doing and all those things. And I remember her saying, oh, I was going to do. Back in the day, I thought I was, or I should have, or I wanted to. And as I'm listening to her talk, I said to myself, I don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
I don't want to be in a situation where I get older. And, you know, I'm 45, as I said, but I was once 20, and then I became 30, and now I'm 45. Soon I'll be 60. You know, life is moving. Yeah, I didn't want to be in that world where I live with the wouldas and the shouldas and the couldas without giving myself a chance to try. So I just figured, if you try, at least I'll know, and I'll know where I stand. That's why I live by nothing beats a failure but a try.
And you build from that.
You
You
know.
know what I'm saying? You build from that. Go ahead, Mo.
I just remember, you know, a lot of people that you approach with a business deal, and you know, you start talking to them, explaining what they need to do, and you know, a lot of people get afraid when you start talking about large amounts of money. Although they want to make large amounts of money, when you start talking about, hey, but it's going to take this, it's going to take this amount of time, it's going to take this large amount of money, it's going to take this investment, it's going to be some sweat, it's going to be some blood, it's going to be some tears, and the fear jumps up. You know, it jumps right up on in them.
Absolutely.
And put some brakes. You know?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, Donte,
Yeah, I mean,
I love your story because I know a couple of people. As a matter of fact, shout out to Akeisha Moore. She's in that McDonald's atmosphere.
Yes.
Great friend of mine, man. Great friend. I told her, I said, look, I got Donte. Yes, period. I told her I got Donte on tonight. You gotta watch, okay? You gotta watch. She said, yeah, I'm very familiar with him and everything. She follows you and all of that. But there's a lot of people, and I think, you know, and I use the word intentional all the time because there's a lot of us don't stick to that method, you know, of being intentional. That's a great part of it. You didn't get to where you're at just with a snap, okay? I'm quite sure there were some obstacles, okay? Can you tell people some of the obstacles that you had to face in order to get to where you're at right now?
Well, I assume you're speaking specifically about McDonald's, right?
I'm talking about life period, because what you're giving us, Donte, right now is a masterclass. Okay, I'm letting everybody know y'all getting this for free. We're not charging y'all. We're getting this for free. Okay, from somebody who lives this. Okay, but yeah, Donte, with life and then with McDonald's.
Yeah, you know, life. This thing called life is a bit peculiar when I think about it. Sometimes it's a bit strange. When I was I grew up in church, and I remember this lady, Mother Williams. She always sat in the back, very critical of people. I grew up Apostolic Pentecostal. If you know anything about that, you know they believe in the ladies wearing their skirts down to their toenails, no earrings and no makeup, and you know all these things that God could care less about, right? And so I remember her pretty much telling me what I should do with my life based on what she believed, religion-wise. And so one of the obstacles was figuring out what I wanted to do and finding the community of people that would support that. I had a lot of people in my life tell me, no, you can't do this. You won't do this. Nobody will accept you. I had a lot of that. For some reason, it was just weird. Throughout life, I could think back to all the times where someone told me no. And for some reason, for me, it just fueled me to find the person that'll tell me yes. That was one issue. And that's a big issue for people because some people can't
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
rejection.
yeah.
You can't deal with rejection. The moment someone rejects you, all of a sudden you become deflated and you're like, okay, I'm just going to give up. For me, I had to keep praying and motivating myself to get past that, right? Secondly, I had to get past that there were and there still is a lot of addictions within my family. Addictions to drugs, addictions to alcohol, addictions to all types of things that hold us back primarily as a race of people. And I had to somehow lean on my mom, lean on friends, come out of the box of depression and all those things that hold us back and say, I want more for my life. I want something more. And I just believe there's something better out there for me. That's not always popular because your environment, what you grow up in, who you grow up with becomes your life most of the times. And to break off from that can put you on an island by yourself and can cause a bit of chaos amongst relationships that you have curated for a lifetime. So I had to tell myself, going to Fisk University, leaving Milwaukee, going on to Vanderbilt, finding people who's willing to be true friends to me outside of what I'm used to is okay. Going away to bring something back is okay. I don't have to stay in this one place. And so in doubling back to like a Mother Williams who said in the back of this church, the one thing I will say that continues to move me today is for every problem that I've had, whether it be, I don't know where my next dollar is coming from. I don't know how my mom is going to pay this mortgage and we 3 months behind. I don't know how I'm going to afford a car to get me around from point A to point B. I've just been fired from a job. I don't know where the next job is coming from. I have to apply for food stamps and I have a college degree. For every issue that I've had to deal with, I think about Mother Williams and the song that she would get up and testify with, which says, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. And when I think about that, it just, something about that moves me even today as a 45-year-old man. When I come when I'm confronted with adversity, I tell myself, all I need is a little time for this to be worked out. And soon I will look back and say, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over, and I'll understand it. I'll understand it. So those obstacles that I've experienced are the same obstacles I think everyone experiences. I just think I've found a way to deal with it that works for me.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Almost brought me to tears. I ain't gonna lie, because you're telling some really poignant truths right now, man. People need to hear this. And Mo, this will be one of those shows I will repeat. Okay, just so you know. And by the way, Dante, we're at 1,000 shows, man. We're over 1,000
Oh,
shows.
that's what's up. Yeah, congrats, man.
Thank you for being a part of that, man. Hey, Felice says,
man, anytime.
Reading your LinkedIn, I see that you care about your employees. Where was this year's yearly trip held?
Yes. This year's trip, I took my employees to New York. And I recently just took my family. We went back to New York because my sons didn't get a chance to go. But within my organization, I have people that are, all they've done in their lives are McDonald's, you know, and we hear this cliche often of, if you don't do this, you're going to end up working at McDonald's. So you got to go to college. And McDonald's is always the symbolism that we use sometimes to equate with what's mediocre or what's average. And so I like to empower my employees. I like to say, you don't work for me, you work beside me. You work beside me. When I go into a restaurant, and I go in my restaurants, I own 4, by the way. And so I'm thankful for that. But when I go into those restaurants, I don't take on a managerial role. I get on the fries, I get on burgers. I work those areas for hours because I want to see people seeing me working. Like I want to see that so that they can understand that I'm just like you. I just had a different mindset as it pertains to certain things, and I wanted to progress that forward. So I created this thing of sort every year. Every year we're going to take a trip, and so this was our first time taking a trip, and I took everybody to New York. And next year, I think we're moving on to Miami. But I want people to come out of the restaurants. I want to start training people who want to be future leaders to step in those roles while we're away. And I want other people who work beside me to see that life has more to offer beyond these walls. And so that works for me in my organization.
Bro, I want to go with you to Miami next year. I'm gonna take a camera crew. No, I'm
I got
serious.
you.
I want to take a camera crew with me because I want to show. I want to
And
show
we need to wrap that up. That would be nice.
No,
I've
I'm
been to
serious.
Miami
No,
a
you know I'm
couple
serious.
times.
You know I'm serious.
Listen,
Listen,
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I want to see the kids' faces as they, because a lot of people don't get the opportunity. A lot of people, okay, you're in Atlanta, but a lot of people, that's where they're at, and that's where they're going to. That's where I'm not going to say that's where they're going to stay, but that's where they're going to be. You know what I mean? And they never get an opportunity to leave. You know, and I think everybody needs that opportunity to leave sometime to see, you know, that there's another world out there other than where you're at right here. Now, you're doing some great things, okay, because you're empowering your employees or the people that work with you. You're empowering them, and you've given, and not only them, but I'm gonna make sure the world sees it, because you're letting everybody know, hey, it can be done. If you look like me, it can be done. And you know, a lot of people give up because they don't see it. And that's why I tell everybody, you know, it's done. And that's why I really, man, look, Donte, I was telling more about this the other day. I said, man, we gotta I hope he comes on, okay? Because we need to tell this story. After reading your story and the little conversation we had, like I said, this got special. This got special. Lewis says, you're right. Get up and take that next step. And I think, you know, your focus, which you give a lot of credit to your mom, which, you know, I think everybody should. All right, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. But your focus also, and your belief. I you know, talking to you right now, I was going to ask you, were you a pastor? Because we getting a sermon today, y'all.
Greg, I don't know 10 scriptures, but the ones I know, I exhaust. Okay,
Right.
The ones I know, I hold on to, and I just let them lead.
Right there.
Yeah. I don't know 10 scriptures. I always tell people, all I can tell you is what God has done for me, you know, and what I believe He can do for you. And I was never one of those people where I was toting Bibles. I ain't got time for that. I wasn't doing all that, right? But I can tell you that I grew up with a mother, and I have a wife who, when times, we thank God when times are not well. We thank God when times are not well, right? I kind of play this game, you know, with myself. It's like, Lord, I want you to remember that even when things were unfavorable or uncomfortable for me, I still took a moment to say, Lord, I thank you. Because listen, there are no guarantees. I mean, I think I'm a cool person. I think that I give it my best, but I don't have to be blessed the way He blesses me, right?
Correct. That's right.
So I try to be as thankful as I can. I try to pass that on as I can. I always tell people, I don't know 10 scriptures, but the Lord and I are friends. We're friends. He knows me. He knows me. And because of that, I feel as if I'm in good company. I feel cared for. And that's important to me.
That's very important, man. I mean, you know, to have that relationship, to have that conversation. I was speaking to somebody today, actually. I told him, I said, it doesn't take a show. It doesn't take you know, dancing raisins or whatever, okay? Just take a moment, pull over to the side and just thank God, because you're able to pull over to the side, because you're here.
Yes.
We don't have to be here. All right.
Yes.
You're so inspirational. Everybody, you know, we're at the halfway point of the show. We're talking to Mr. Donte Cleaves. He is owner-operator of McDonald's in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's owner-operator of inspiration in my book, okay, to a lot of people. If you don't know his story, please look him up, all right? You'll find out a lot about him, his success, and the things that he believes in. So make sure that you guys really check him out, okay? Lewis says, keep the faith, even when things don't come when you want it, just when he decides to give it to you. We don't even have to wake up in the morning. That's true, Frank. We don't. Bobby says, I'm not a pastor, but I do know Jesus. Yes, I mean, it's important to have a relationship with God, right? Because therein lies the knowledge, the strength, the will to go on. You know, now Donte, you're doing so much right now, okay? And I know you're very, very, very busy. What is your greatest moment outside of getting that first store? What's your greatest moment lately?
Oh, my greatest moment lately. This is gonna sound like really simple, but my greatest moment lately is my wife telling me just how much she loves and appreciates me.
Come on, bro. Come on.
I know that is. I wish I had something, more grand to say.
That's good.
But today,
Right.
I was
That's
in the
it.
living room. Yeah, and my wife, to take a moment to express to me, because you've done a story on what providing is within a household. I've watched your story on that, and I have my thoughts, but that's another show. But what my greatest moment right now is knowing that I have a wife who loves me with all the flaws that I had and I have today. Knowing I have someone who is willing to love me beyond forgiveness, and to know that someone appreciates all that I do to bring to my family, all of the wealth I try to bring. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm
Right.
talking about just goodness as a person, quality of person, right? Um, for me, that's my greatest moment, because life is rough. Life is rough. I'm telling you, even as a McDonald's owner, people just say, "Oh, you got all this money because you own McDonald's." That, number one, it's not true. But number two, number two, with or without money, like the feeling of someone else truly loving you, to me, is paramount to any other thing. And that's what I have with her. And I'm thankful for that.
I'm about to do a Patty
Yeah.
LaBelle and kick off my shoes, bro. For real. That's
Lord knows, having that one next to you like that, bro. I've been there for 35 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
When you go into your business villages and you bring that person in as an advisor, and they right there with you, making those decisions and helping you along and encouraging you and making sure you don't step in a pile of poop if they see it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I understand fully. I understand fully what you mean.
That's a beautiful
What the song say, flaws and all. There it is. That's that song. Flaws and all.
That's got to be a beautiful feeling, man. I got the acting community listening right now. Okay, Tyler P, great actor, fantastic actor. Needs to put his shirt on, but still, fantastic actor. Tyler, when you guys are filming, if you ever film in Atlanta, man.
Oh man,
go see this guy. All right, put that movement in a film, man. Tyler,
I'm right down the street from you.
Come on, man. Gotta
do
it. Have you ever?
You're in Nashville?
Yep.
I'm in Nashville right now.
Really?
Get out of here.
I'm in Nashville right now. Gallatin.
Gallatin. I'm at Priest Lake.
That's what's up. Okay, you over by the airport.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you need to talk, man. So are you thinking about doing some expansions here or something?
Well, we spend our living is in Atlanta, but I trained here in Nashville, and we've transitioned to Atlanta, but we still have things to kind of clear up, and as far as relocation. So we're here often, and my mom is here. So
Fisk and Vandy. I heard you talking about Fisk and Vandy, so I was like, you're all the way up in this boy.
I'm here.
Donte Tyler said he's gonna pull up when he pops out there.
Listen, I'm there. We'll be back tomorrow. So
hey, bring a camera with y'all guys. Bring a camera. We need to immortalize your movement, man. We need to your story needs to be captured. It needs to be told. All right, period. It really needs to be told because it's very inspirational. It's not just a fly-by-night type of a story, man. It's a story. It's a heartfelt story. All right. This is one of the reasons I wanted to have you on there, not because you own these McDonald's, but because you're showing that it is attainable. you can't do it.
You can.
That's crazy, man. That's great. We celebrate you, man, because you know, if you've seen the show, you know, we laugh, we joke, we talk a whole bunch of crap. All right, I haven't said one curse word today, Mo. I ain't said one curse word on the show.
Right there.
I haven't,
right there.
because I love to sit back and listen to people who know what they're talking about. You know. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking bad about anybody else. So when y'all, you know, y'all musicians, the actors, and everybody come on here, y'all cool. But sometimes we got to get down to the heart. You know, we got to get to the heart. We got to get these messages out there. All right.
I agree.
Donte, are you a mentor as far as not just your employees, but to other people that you see?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. So within my fraternity, I'm really big. People who know me know I'm really big on credit. My wife will tell you, when my score dips under 840, I can barely get out the bed.
Come on, dude. Come on. Now. Yes.
You know, so because you got to think about it. You know,
wait. You said 840 dip below 840.
Mo.
Yes.
Mo, I feel him.
Listen,
I feel him.
when I started this years ago, most people in my era didn't learn anything about credit. Our parents were just trying to make it. You know, if they had a credit card, it was maxed out, right? I didn't learn about credit until I got to Fisk and started seeing some other kids and how they went about things and kind of what they learned from educated parents growing up. And when I checked out my score, I was in the low fives, and I was like, I can't get nothing. Like I need a cosigner for everything, you know. But it motivated. It motivated me. I was like, you know, moving forward, if I am going to expect the world to take me seriously, I've got to take me seriously. Right. And so I started working on things like credit and making sure that I understood the viability of great economics so that I can teach my kids. Like, I'm thankful. My mom, she is without a college degree, and she got her high school diploma much later in her adult years. She didn't have the choice of what we have today. She had to get out there and pick butter beans in Grenada, Mississippi. And, you know, there were 14 people living in the house minus the adults. Those were just the kids. And so some people were sacrificial in that way. And so I had to kind of create this path of the wherewithal. Like, what can we do? And so I am a stickler for motivating people, starting with my sons. Because I find it ironic to motivate anybody or to mentor anyone without first starting at home. So my sons are my litmus test on a daily basis, right? Yep. And then beyond that, you know, with my McDonald's, we have a partnership with North Druid Hills High School in Atlanta, and we provide food for them, and they bring me their grades, and we go over academics and what they do. And these are kids who are in communities where foundations are not strong, right? And so we start with that. We start with the lost and the left out and people who feel voiceless. This year, going back to school, we're going to provide, as we did last year, 1,000 free Happy Meals to kids. All you have to do is have a parent bring you. I don't require anything else. And so I say all of that to say, you know, you use what you have to give what you can, and you ask God to just continue to give to you so that you can continue to give to others. And so far, it's been a working formula. So far.
Be a blessing. So you can be blessed.
That's the way it's supposed to be, man. And I'm glad you said that too. Frank said credit for us a long time ago was putting stuff in layaway.
Right at Kmart. Right at Kmart and JCPenney.
Come on.
Hey, right at Kmart and JCPenney. You're right. You're right.
Donte, do you remember the JCPenney catalog every Christmas, man? The little catalog.
It was like a phone book. It was like a yellow page one.
Go and set all that stuff and go get two things out of that whole book.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. One more question, man. You mentor. Has there ever been a kid that just came in and they were so street, so impossible to get through, but you got to them?
Yes. And let me be clear with you. I'm very direct. I think people appreciate me because I'm direct. We had a situation early last year. How I became a mentor for the high school. A group of kids came in. There was a group of construction workers who came in to eat. They sat down. They left. One of the construction workers got up, last one to get up, and he left his phone. And one of the kids, you can tell off the cameras, was going back and forth of, should I take the phone? Should I not take the phone? But he took the phone. And I was hot. I was real hot. I probably used a lot of words that you used to use normally on the show, but I chose to kind of just be cool about it. And I got my director of operations, Ms. Donte Cleaves, my great friend from Fisk, and works alongside of me today, keeping my business in a marvelous way. Her and Jackie, supervisor. But we went down to the school fully expecting to get somebody arrested, because if your phone is lost, that's your life. It's got codes and all types of things in there. And I got there, I had an attitude. I had forgotten I was a McDonald's owner. It was just not, my mind wasn't good. But when I got there, a lady approached me, Ms. Shanterica, and she says, I know you're upset, but the kids that took your phone and the kids whose group I house are kids that are failing and will most likely not graduate. And so I just had to remember real quick, this is how, I'm sorry if I keep bringing the Lord up, but he just is the reason. But I had to remember all the mistakes that I made in my life, whether they were intentional or unintentional. And I had to think about Mother Williams and how she sang that song, My Soul Looks Back and Wonder How I Got Over. I had to think about all the grace and the mercy that people showed me and continue today to show me, because I still make mistakes. A lot of them. I do. I just do it in a different way, right? And I just had to take a moment and say, okay, how would I have wanted someone to treat me if I was at this stage, broken foundation, most likely broken home, seemingly in situations where people do not care about me? And so instantly, calm came over. And I said, okay, instead of involving the police, which is what people do to us far too many times, right? So I had to kind of beat myself up, like, you just became a whole person that does what you hate people to do, right? I had to just tell myself, how can I be impactful? And that was really the decision maker for me. That was the pivotal moment that said, no, instead of putting these people in another situation, I'm going to give free food. I'm going to give of my advice. I'm going to give of my presence. I'm going to show them that I can show up when they need me most. And so, that was the impossible kid that did that. And today, I like to say he's thriving, probably not to the level that I would hope to see, but I believe confidently that he's better today than he was when I met him. And that's progress.
It only takes a word and listening, man. If you listen and you hear the word, I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I've been homeless before, and I did not give up, because I said, this is what I want to do. So I'm gonna stick through this. I'm gonna take all of this mess, and I'm gonna go through it, okay? And it worked out. It worked out tremendously, And like I said, for me, it's never been about money. It's been about being intentional, making sure that I can tell stories. And I did a music video show for 12 years. All right, met all of these. You saw it at the beginning of the show. But my greatest, I think, achievement is talking to people like yourself, who can give to others, who can show people that it can be done. Donte, I'm telling you, bro, you may not even know how great you are, man, but for me to reach out, I think you're great. I think you're an amazing individual, man. I think that you have a lot more to offer. This ain't it. This ain't it. That's my curse word of the day, Mo. Ain't. Okay. This ain't it.
Ain't.
So, Donte, before we get out of here, man, I need you to do me a really big favor, and for 3 minutes, I just need to. We're gonna call this segment. I wish I could type it up real quick. Donte Speaks. Okay, for 3 minutes, man. Give us your heart. Give us your words.
Well, number one, I think I always tell my kids and people around me, never miss an opportunity to say thank you. You just should never. Sometimes I'll open the door for someone, or I'll hold the door back as I've walked into a store and, waiting for the person to come so that they can recognize I've opened the door. Sometimes they just walk right through. They don't even acknowledge that you have held this door. And I always get that person And I think to myself, you've missed an opportunity that could have been life changing, because you don't know who you're going to meet, right? And so I always tell my kids and people around me, always give thanks to situations that are blessings to you, that are befitting to you, that are helpful to you. Never miss that opportunity. I always lead with nothing beats a failure but a try.
That's right.
So when I hear people, sometimes my employees will come, I can't do, and I don't think I can, and I don't want to. And I say, no. Number one, because my time is valuable. Let's start off with what you can do. And after we figure out what you can do, we'll work on what you believe you can't do, right? That's how I lead. I feel as though, good leaders are, I don't think you're a good leader until other people in the room feel brave enough to do what they're called to do in your presence. You should empower. When you walk into rooms, other people should feel empowered by you being there. They shouldn't feel intimidated. They should feel as though they have an ally, someone who is willing to bolster their confidence and to promote them even on personal levels. Those things are important to me. I always tell people, when I walk into a room, and I haven't always been this way, but my mom had to help me get here. When I walk into a room, I feel as though the room has just become more valuable with me in it. Not because I'm a McDonald's owner, not because I like to think that I have presence, but it's because whatever I do, I'm going to give my absolute best. Here's the kicker to that: your best may not get you what you want. Because some people feel as though if I give my best, I should have this. There's some people right now. I'm a tennis player and I love Serena. And there's some people right now today who gave their absolute best but never beat her in a match, right? But you have to continue giving your best, because somewhere along the way, the reward is going to come. So in all things I do, if I've decided that I'm going to do it, my wife said today, stand and deliver. Get on there, because I'm always nervous before I speak. People don't think that, but when I start speaking, I just kind of do it. But it's because I've told myself to just, if you're going to do something, do it with everything you got. Don't worry about what people have to say about you. People talking about me today, I just don't know it, can't hear it, don't really care, right?
Who cares, right?
But
My
I've
business.
got to keep going. I've got to keep going. And the moment you stop because of what you heard or what they were not favorable to you, that's when you've missed it. You've missed your blessing. You have to keep going. You got to keep believing. You got to keep trying. Do not stop. For every time I have been told yes, I am sure I was told no 10 times before that. 10 times before that. What are you going to do with the opportunities that you get? Employees, sometimes I want a raise. I want these things. My friends, I want this. I want that. And I have to say to some people, I have to call to the carpet and say, you want a lot. What you're asking for is big, but you don't take care of the things that are small. Like, what do you do with the small stuff? People are so grand. Even myself, I'm grand. And there are times where I have to tell myself, Donte, why are you expecting to be blessed with something big? You want the cup to runneth over, but you don't take care of the water that's already in there. So we have to really analyze what are we giving to life that we're so expectant. What are we giving? What are we giving to it? How are we being impactful? How are we uplifting other people? There are times, lastly, because I think I probably got about 38 seconds, I time myself. There are times where I have to force myself to celebrate others. And somebody may say, well, Donte, why is that? Well, because it's something that I want. It's something that I want, and I feel like I hadn't gotten it yet. And I'm looking at other people getting what I want or getting what they want. And I have to tell myself, remember, there will be room made for whatever your desires are if you just stay steadfast, if you remain good on the inside. And until it happens for you, continue clapping for other people. It will be rewarded. So that's what I'll leave you with.
Come on, bro. Now, look, I did that because you need to do Donte Speaks. You know how
you're gonna have to help me with that, because I've never had social media. LinkedIn is the only social media in my life I've ever had.
I got you.
So
I got you. Donte Speaks. Okay, right there. right there, man. You know how I'm gonna cut this up for you, man. Donte speaks, but all you got to do 1 minute, Donte. Your word is powerful. 1 minute. Okay. Did you see how Bobby Struchin? I don't know if you saw the post, the notes, but she was putting out real quick. I mean, this is how it goes. Look, let's start off with what you can do, then we work on what you can't do. Donte speaks. You know, I mean, never miss an opportunity to say thank you. Donte speaks. I mean, I'm telling you, just little short things like that, man. It's not about getting accolades or this and that. It's about you giving like you always do to everybody. Okay, you said a lot in those 3 minutes, and I just said Mo knows how I think. I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, watch this. Yeah. And you did. You stood up, as you said, and you delivered. Hey, man, thank you for coming to the show. This platform is your platform anytime you need it, bro. Okay, Dope Living. When you come into the family, when you come into the fold, you stuck. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I don't want you to, because this is you giving to me too. So I want to make sure that I extend to you a level of support that you can depend on. If I can do anything to help progress your causes, just let me know, and I'll give my best.
And the same here, brother. Okay, we appreciate you. It's a blessing. This was another masterclass, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Not just business. This is masterclass with life, bro.
Thank you. Thank
Author
you
Nikki Nicole said, I would love to have him as a guest. Love his motivational. Yeah. Nikki Nicole, if I'll talk to Donte if he's available and he can make it happen. Hey, we'll see.
We'll
see. Mo, what you got?
Mo, we'll get together soon.
Man, I'm looking forward to that. We got kindred spirits, bro, because I've always been a firm believer is that you cannot be blessed unless you are blessing somebody first, and you can saw that 110 times over. And we need a million billion of just like you, bro. Where you get out there, you're not just speaking it, but you're doing it, and and with God's help, I know you're gonna continue to do that, and it's gonna be contagious. The thing I always whenever I taught anybody anything, the biggest thing is that I've always said the biggest reward you could get is that you taught somebody something successful. If you were doing it, teach them. You're not teaching them more. You're not teaching them how to succeed, and that's what you do. That's your reward, teaching them. So they come back and they say, "Hey, I learned that from Mo. I learned that from Donte. I learned that from Greg." That is your reward. Just remember that. That's what we're supposed to do as folk. We're supposed to teach each other. We're supposed to, be able to shoulder some of that, burden if we can. We're supposed to do that, bro. I appreciate you.
We went to church today, y'all. Okay, and as we get off today, man. Again, man, let's continue to keep Malcolm Jamal Warner in our prayers, his family in our prayers. All right, yeah. We lost a great one, man. We lost a great one. And again, this is a moment where God has his moments. God has his timing. When he calls for us, we have to answer. And so again, condolences to that family. And man, that's a rough one. That's rough. But Donte, again, thank you, man, for giving us the time. And again, our platform is your platform, bro. We here. And Mo, I didn't say a curse word.
Hey, we good. We ain't got them bleeping us out or nothing like that, fading. Because sometimes we're not perfect.
Get me out of here right now.
Perfect, but God's still working on us. So
get me out of here right now, because I might regurgitate some of those words. It might just come out. I don't know. Okay. But Donte, when I'm in Atlanta, man, I'm gonna look you up, bro.
Please do.
Most definitely. Okay. It's Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace.
Thanks.